Good evening, you handsome lot. On the ramp today, I've got a 2017 Nissan Navara, full farmer spec. It has got a lovely aroma to it. Now we're going to be replacing the front flexible pipe off the turbo to the DPF. It's going to be a little bit of a pain, this, I think. Now, before we start on this vehicle, it's only done 42,000 miles, which is no miles really for an exhaust to fail, especially on a newish vehicle kind of thing. But anyway, I did notice when I put it on the ramp that the engine management light was on, and I thought, before we get involved, let's have a little look and create a report before we start on it, because there's nothing worse than the famous quote of "ever since." So that's why we've jumped on the launch Euro, and we have got one fault code for, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, EGR valve position. Now, it hasn't come in for diagnostics, but if you're ever working on vehicles and the engine management light's on, or an ABS, or an airbag, or any sort of fancy light on the dashboard, before you carry out any work, make sure that you're doing a diagnostic report just before you carry out any work, because it can save you. It can save you. Right, so I'm going to make this report, get it printed off, put it in the vehicle, and if the customer wants to go ahead at a later date and get it booked in for that EGR valve to be looked at, job is a good one. But anyway, let's carry on. Now, because of the height of this 4x4, I can't really get in there, and I need to lower the front end. Now, rather than take the wheels off, we're just going to let the tyres down. Now, I did this not long ago on a Nissan D23, and I had somebody comment on it. "Oh, I wouldn't be happy with you letting my tyres down to work on it because you'll damage my tyres." Have you ever seen the structure of a tyre? These tyres are a lot stronger than they look. And it's going to be perfectly fine for an hour or so while it's sat on the rim. Don't worry. Let these tyres down. And with that front end a little bit lower, we've got a little bit more access to get in there rather than reaching over, if that makes sense. Now, we do need to make a little bit of room for ourselves, move the airbox, the intake. We might have to just degas the air conditioning, because there is a pipe going straight down there, just to give us a little bit more access. Right, the airbox is now out of the way. We're making a nice little pile in the corner there. Now, I think what we're going to have to do, just to make a little bit of room down there, is just disconnect the ECU and pull the wiring harness over, and definitely disconnect or degas the air conditioning. Just pull this pipe out, and then everything is down there. Hopefully we can get everything from the top by the looks of it. Now, while I'm waiting for the air conditioning to degas, there is no harm in making lots of room for yourself. It does make the job a lot easier. Now, I could possibly just squeeze past this pipe here, but we can degas it, take that pipe out of the way, and we are not faffing about. So don't be scared just to remove something to make it a little bit easier for yourself. Don't struggle. You should never have to struggle. Now, with that pipe out of the way, look at all that room that we've got. There's a little 8mm by there out of the heat shield, and you do have to remove the oxygen sensor out of the exhaust. And then that heat shield then will, or should I say, pull off. Now, look at it. It has been leaking quite bad. Right. It's not a bad job, to be honest with you. Let me camera focus. It's not a bad job, to be honest with you. We've just got to remove the two V-band clamps, and that should, with a little bit of jiggering and pokering, should come out. V-band clamps are now off, and they are a right little faff to get off. Now, they are spring steel, and they're like that, and they've snapped. And apparently these clamps are 75 quid each. We will be definitely using these again, and that's for sure. Right, let's go ahead now and get this downpipe off. Now, there is a little 12mm right underneath. Don't know if you can see. No, you can't see. Right underneath there, which does go to that little bracket there. So you can kind of see where it is underneath. Right, let's get it off. Where do we start? Where do we start? Downpipe is now off, and it has got a split in it. They're only 10, stupid. But anyway, things have taken a little bit of a turn for the worst. Remember at the beginning of the video when I did that diagnostic report, and it was saying EGR something, I can't really remember. But however, behind that exhaust, right down there, there is an EGR cooler which runs behind the turbo. If you have a little, if I get my little camera in here now, try to. See the arm has popped off. I don't know whether if I can I do it at the same time? Bear with me, bear with me. Oh. Wrong. That has got a little bit of play in it. I don't know if you can see it. And it is also leaking. It is blowing past that EGR cooler flap also. Not what I wanted to find. With it being a Friday afternoon, I'm not going to get an EGR cooler. And I'm going to have to kind of make this vehicle mobile. Just put the ECU on, connect the bare minimum just to get it off my ramp. Because the parts for this are very expensive. Now, we have spoken to the customer and we've said, look, you know, this is what needs to happen. And we're kind of, I would say, halfway there, but we ain't, because it is an absolute horrible job. Now, there's probably people out there that work for Nissan are going to say, oh, no, it's quite an easy job. From what I've never done one before. So when I do the repair on this, and if you're still watching me by then, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because you will see me carry out this repair. And we will be doing this job together. There's a lot of stuff to take off. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do now, I think. We're going to get it mobile, so at least we can start it and drive it, because there's no way am I pushing this off my ramp in between that little gap. Well, it's one of them, innit, you know. This is what you have to expect sometimes. When you take your cars in for repairs, sometimes you clean sailing, and other times you will run into problems. It's just how cars are, unfortunately. But anyway, let's get it kind of back together. And there we go. We're now in a position where we can get this vehicle started and get off my ramp. Downpipes off. We're going to get engine management faults. All the ECU is coupled back up, and we have connected the earths back to the chassis, and it should start and drive. Obviously, I've blown the tyres back up as well. But I put everything in the back here. All the little nuts and bolts. Yeah, everything's in there out of the way. We do not want to be losing anything. Right, well, that is the vehicle all back together. Straight through, we've got no downpipe, straight off the turbo. Anyway, it is a little bit of a pain getting on and off this ramp. As long as you're careful. But there you go. We are now off. Let's go park it up. And that is that vehicle off my ramp. But however, I am off now. I've got a day off tomorrow, but we are coming in on Sunday. It might be a bit of a Sunday special, because think back a couple of months where I did the engine on this little Fiat Doblo, which is going to be my new van. It ended up in tears. But you try and find an engine for one of those vans. The reason behind this failed after I did the engine, all I did was just nut and bolt it back together. The block, because the customer or the previous owner had a water leak, and the water pump had failed, they drove it for months with just water in it. And what had happened, the electrolysis had happened on the bores, tiny little pinholes. And as it got up to temperature, warm, they opened, and the cooling system was pressurizing. Engine kaput. We have managed to purchase another vehicle, which was an MOT failure. Gearbox has failed, but the engine is mint. And I've had it running up to temperature, and it does sound good, to be honest with you. Got fault codes for glow plugs, but not a problem, because I put brand new glow plugs in that cylinder head when I did the head on it. But yeah, that's going to be a Sunday. I'm going to make one van, one good van out of the two. I'm going to have one on this ramp and one on the other ramp over there, and I'm just going to be, within the day, working back into trying to make a good one. Fortunately, that is the end of this video. It is not how I wanted it to end. It's just one of them things, like I said earlier, you do come across stuff. But anyway, hopefully the new parts are here Monday. I have got a busy schedule next week. I've got a wet belt to do on Monday. Lots of other stuff, so I'm going to try and... That is going to probably be a full day job. I'm looking forward to doing a video on that. Anyway, if you've made it this far and you've enjoyed the content, please do not forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Hope you all have a mint weekend, and let's get it sent.